We will start the
presentation.
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोधनंदन ब्रज जनरंदन यशोधनंदन ब्रज जनरंदन यशोधनंदन ब्रज जनरंदन यशोधनंदन ब्रज जनरंदन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome all of you to today's discussion. partly on the Bhagavad Gita and the significance of the Holy Festival. Till last week, we did up to the fourth verse of the very important second chapter entitled Contents of the Gita Summaries. So here we see Arjuna's indecision and accepting Lord Krishna as his spiritual master. This section is talking about this. And firstly, when Arjuna submitted his reasons for not fighting at the end of the first chapter, Krishna in response, he chastises Arjuna and he disapproves his so-called compassion. So compassion based on the body is not very intelligent in the sense that just like we do not, when we are trying to save a person who's about to drown in the ocean, we try to save him at any cost, even if we have to lose his dress or something like that. So, and Arjuna still presents his own doubts and confusion because he is also very intelligent. When two intelligent people are meeting together, it's not necessary that they have to come to an agreement immediately. After much discussion only, after much clarification, it is better to come to some agreement after that instead of blindly accepting someone. So Arjuna also puts forward his doubts, and although he is intelligent, he is becoming confused. So this can happen to all of us. We may be intelligent in our own respects, but the ways of nature are such that it can put us in some confusion as to judge while making our judgment. But Arjuna is intelligent also in the sense that he surrenders to Krishna. Surrender means he is willing to benefit from someone else. He has tried to help himself to the extent possible. But when he found that he could not solve his own problem by himself, then he accepts another person, Krishna, as his authority. And then Krishna begins to instruct him. Till that time, Krishna is only passive observer and patiently hearing what Arjuna has to say. So this is a brief summary of the section which we are going to do now. Someone can help me to share where that is. So sorry, because there will be more attendance today. We not put the chairs for the audience so that we can accommodate many of you. So I hope you don't mind. So as I said in the beginning, our presentation will be of two sections. One part will be about the Bhagavad Gita verses 5 to 8. And then we'll talk a little bit about the significance of the upcoming festival, Holi. So today, if you can see the screen, you can recite this very important verse, the 5th verse of the second chapter. Gurun ahatva hi mahanubhavan. Gurun ahatva hi mahanubhavan. Shreyo bhoktum vaikyam api haloke. Atvarta kamanstu gurun ihaiva. Punjiya bhogan rudira pradigdan. So we'll read the word-to-word meaning also so that we can. Normally these sounds, when they enter our ear, they stay subconsciously and they can be revoked very easily. So that's why we recite these Sanskrit verses. So Gurun means the superiors. So it's an accepted fact of life. There's always someone superior to us. No matter how proficient we may be, there's always someone ahead of us. That is also, we address them as Guru. Guru means heavy. Someone is more superior, call it Guru. Ahatva, not killing. Hatva means killing. Here Ahatva means not killing. Why we should not kill the superiors? He certainly So under any circumstances, one should not kill a superior. This is a code of conduct which Arjuna is trying to point out to Krishna. And Mahanubhavan, great souls. What kind of people? Those who are mature. Maybe a common man doesn't care for superiors. He may choose to kill someone or offend the senior. But those who are realized or mature people, they will never do this. Shreya. Shreya means better. What kind of better? Preya is there, Shreya is there. Preya means short-term benefit. Shreya means long-term benefit. Bhoktu. Bhokta means enjoy. Just for my enjoyment, it's not necessary that I should offend some superior. So that's why to enjoy what life. Bhaikya. Bhaikya comes from the word bhiksha, begging. So better than trying to enjoy after killing my superiors, is I choose to beg. Or happy even, iha, in this life. Not about the future, immediately I want to do this, given these two options. And in this word, loke, atva, killing, artha, gain. So I don't think I will gain anything by killing my superiors, even if it's going to fetch me some enjoyment. Why? He says, kama, desiring to, but gurun, superiors, iha, in this world, eva, certainly, bunjiya, one has to enjoy. If you try to enjoy one thing, that already has a consequence. Supposing you eat some food, you know you're going to get some reaction. If you take some food, maybe especially if it's not good for your health, you know while eating itself, it is going to affect you. So he's saying, if I go for this enjoyment, I know some other kind of enjoyment is waiting for me. What is that? Bhogan, enjoyable thing. Rudira pradigdan. Rudira means blood, pradigdan means tainted with. Supposing someone has served you sweet rice, something very sweet, and due to the wind, some wind blows and some sand comes and falls into that sweet rice. So will you relish eating that sweet rice? No, because you like to eat it because it is sweet, but unfortunately, because the sand which is not delectable has fallen in that, we will not appreciate it. It's more or less the lost meal. So similarly, he is saying that, yes, I want to enjoy the kingdom, but not at the expense of killing my superiors. Because if I do that, it is not, the result ultimately is not beneficial to me. So this way is arguing. So one may question, what is the relevance to our life? So basically in our life also we have to evaluate certain things before we take a step forward. So the translation says it would be better to live in this world by begging. Begging here can mean alternative. I have a different alternative. But actually for a Kshatriya, it is not fitting to beg. Just begging is allowed for brahmacharis, celibate, to become humble. And for renounced order, they can also beg. Why they beg? Not for profession, but when they go for begging, that person understands such a great person is coming to be for begging means it's not really for begging. He wants to communicate something to me much valuable. So, so these are two occupations which are allowed for the brahmachari and grihastha to, sannyasi to beg. But now Arjuna is a Kshatriya and moreover is a householder, a grihastha. Under no circumstances it is permitted for a Kshatriya to beg. He can fight for something and win it. That is the royal way. Or grihastha also he has to earn himself. So, but he is willing to give up that Kshatriya dharma as well as the grihastha dharma, than to live the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. But the problem here is they were once his teachers. Now they no longer are in that position. So normally we become influenced by our past. So and so did something for me then, so maybe I should continue to maintain that respect for him. But that's also, there's a obligation is binding when the effect is good. Sometimes, yes, we are obliged to respect some relationship, but if it is counterproductive, then we can also sacrifice that relationship. So here he's saying that they are my teachers, but the point is they were once teachers and then they were respectable, but now they are no longer functioning in the role of a teacher. Now they are functioning in the role of an enemy. Then you have to respond to that, not based on what they were in the past. So even though desiring worldly gain, so he thinks this fighting this kingdom is a worldly gain, which means it'll be there today and be lost tomorrow. So what is the point? But we know there are some things for short-term benefit, long-term benefit. Just because it is short-term benefit, you cannot ignore it. Just like your students now. For you, the short-term benefit is being a student. It is cannot ignore it. But long-term benefit may be something else. But nevertheless, the short-term benefit also is required. So, but here he is saying it is worldly gain. But in this world also, we have to live peacefully. Even if you want to be a devotee or saintly person, it's not going to be easy because you are living in this world. And why? What is the reason? They are superiors. Gurun, he says. Guru. So, but superior, yes, provided they maintain it. Right? So if they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. So this is Arjuna's one reason. Then the purport, it takes purport means commentary. So as per scriptural code, scripture means something which is written down. Written down, why? Just like constitution is written down, or some law books are there, they are already written, some formulas are they are already written down. Nobody can change that formula. So what is the scriptural code? A teacher who engages in an abominable action and has lost his sense of discrimination is fit to be abandoned. Yes, a teacher is superior, but assuming if he is in a situation where he no longer is in that maintaining that respect, commands that respect, then we can reconsider that. Just like someone is certified to be a doctor, but you come to know that he is doing some malpractice, then every right is there to take away that privilege with him. Or someone is qualified teacher, but we come to know he has done some malpractice, then also a lawyer, whatever profession you see. If there's conditions, there is even your citizenship of a country is offered to you, it comes with some conditions. So who engages in abominable? Abominable means something which you should not even think of doing, or whatever doing it, and has lost his discrimination, is fit to be abandoned. So Bhishma and Drona were obliged to take the side of Duryodhana because of his financial assistance. So just out of lure for money, actually Bhishma originally supposed to rule the kingdom, and Dronacharya is also the teacher for the Kshatriyas. So as such, some privileges have been bestowed on him. So he doesn't have to stoop himself down so that he has to live for money. But they had reduced that position because they wanted to serve Duryodhana just for the sake of money. They had lost their discrimination power. So although they should not be accepted such a position simply on the financial considerations, under the circumstances, they have lost the respectability of teachers. But Arjuna thinks that nevertheless they remain his superiors. So this is the problem. It's known as a Kripana. Kripana means he doesn't know how to estimate the value of things. Suppose you give a child a 100 rupees note and you give him a toy which is worth 10 rupees. Obviously, he will choose the toy or the sweet because he doesn't know the value of things. So here Arjuna's problem is he is not able to understand the gravity of the situation. And therefore, just like there was demonetization, after demonetization, they said this 500 rupee note, whatever you have, it will not have any further value after a certain date. But if someone says, no, I will still hold on to it, then obviously he's not being intelligent. So Arjuna thinks, nevertheless, they remain superior. Therefore, to enjoy material profits after killing them would mean to enjoy spoil tainted with blood. So basically, he is a bit confused how to handle this situation. So this may happen to us also in life. We may value someone for something, but situations may change, both our situation and that person's situation or the circumstances. But we still hold on to those things. Just like we see some people are there in the slums. They are remaining in the slums, so government wants to uplift them, say they provide some alternative accommodation. But what they do, once they get that alternate accommodation, they sell it and they go back to their slums and continue to live there. So this is the problems which we make in life. So this words, any doubts you have? Quick clarity.
You Dinkar. What's you have to stop sharing once. Stop sharing. Then
Okay, in the meantime, I'll save time, but go to the next word, verse number 6. Nachaitat vidma kataranno gariyo yatva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu jnaneva hatva na jivishamas ye avastita pramuke tatta rashtraha. So, nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. So obviously, any endeavor, you have ultimately two outcomes. It's like you write an exam, broadly either pass or fail, or if you set your own cutoff, either you cross it or you fail to cross. So nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. Just like supposing you somehow managed to win the votes and become the prime minister. You know, in some countries, the moment they become, they are bombarded with opposition and they resign from that post. So it's not all necessarily better to be in the other opposition. Supposing you come to the ruling position and you may be in more trouble than being in the opposition. So something like that he's saying, now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. So why he doesn't want to live after killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? So as we saw, Arjuna's one reason for not fighting this war is he thought that I have to kill my own relatives, who are the sons of Dhritarashtra, who are his own cousins, you can say. If he killed the son, because if he had to win the war, obviously he has to kill them. But he says we should not care to live, because ultimately whatever we have in life is to share it with our family members. If you don't have a family and you have a big palace, what is the happiness you're going to get out of it? So he feels that even if I win this kingdom after killing my relatives, with whom will I enjoy after that? Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. So this is his consideration, that he doesn't want to fight because he has to kill them. But at the same time, he is also noticing this fact that the other party is not willing to compromise and they are ready to fight with. So this is the confusion for him, what he should do, and if he doesn't do what he does, still there's going to be a problem. Arjuna did not know whether he should fight and risk unnecessary violence, although fighting is the duty of the Kshatriya. Kshatriya, the word comes from Kshat. Kshat means harm or hurt. Traya means to protect. So Kshatriya means a person who is willing to protect others. So that is the duty, which means that is something which will make him the most happy. Or whether he should refrain and live by begging. So, as I said in the beginning, the begging profession is recommended for the brahmachari or the brahmana. Brahmana means, supposing a teacher is there, if he gets influenced by money, he will not teach properly. Supposing a student is very dull student and still the student is paying a lot of money, it's likely that the teacher will favor him. Actually, a student may be very intelligent but come from a poor family, but the teacher should not discriminate because he's not paying me a fees. But if they are doctors also, originally they were supposed to be Brahmana, which means they don't charge the patient or money or lawyer, whatever. They were only qualified Brahmanas. So those Brahmanas, they beg. Beg means it's not like a beggar on the street. That is to make them remain humble, to always remain in the position of humility. So for such a person, Brahmana or for a sannyasi or a brahmachari, it is permitted to beg, and they should beg also. That it is not considered wrong previously. But Arjuna, as a Kshatriya or as a householder, he should not do this. But he is willing to do that. If he did not, if either he fights as a Kshatriya or the only other occupation will be for him now will be to beg. Begging would be his only means of subsistence. Nor was there this is one consideration. Another consideration, nor was there certainty of victory. Because Arjuna knew very well that he was opposing a very strong army. Arjuna by himself is very strong. But the problem is, the other side, there are much more powerful fighters as well as a stronger army. Because when Arjuna and Duryodhana went to Krishna, Duryodhana chose the army of Krishna. So Krishna's army means obviously it's very strong. So Arjuna obviously is fighting a stronger opponent. So his chances of victory are very less. So therefore it says nor is there certainty of victory, because either side might emerge victorious. Especially as you know, we play some matches, cricket matches. Although there's a very strong side, it's not assured. Just like West Indies was playing against India in 1983 World Cup. No one ever expected that India would win. So something like that, he is thinking that there was no certainty of victory. Even if victory awaited them and their cause was justified, just because you are fighting for a just cause may not mean that you will come out victorious. And still, if the sons of Dhritarashtra died in battle, it would be very difficult to live in their absence. So same reason. Again, when you are confused, you keep on repeating the same thing. So that's what is happening to Arjuna here also. Because he is confused, the same thought is coming again, same reason, same judgment, way of judgment is happening to him. Under the circumstances, that would be another kind of defeat for them. Just like we say the operation was successful, but the patient died. So something like that. Maybe we fought like Ashoka the Great was there. He fought the battle and he could win the battle, but later he felt I had lost because I had killed so many people. All these considerations by Arjuna definitely proved that not only was he a great devotee. So what does a devotee mean? As I told previously, he's able to make the best use of a situation. Dovetailing, we call it. So he is willing to take into consideration many aspects. So that normally we think a devotee of the Lord means, okay, he's given up in life. That's why he's doing devotion. But really a devotee means he's able to see the pros and cons of everything he does. But he was also highly enlightened and had complete control over his mind and senses. So normally we get carried away by the mind, or we get carried away by what we see, smell, taste, touch, and hear. So we immediately respond to what we see or smell, taste, touch, and hear, or based on that, whatever our mind says. But someone who's able to go a step further and analyze carefully, and his desire to live by begging, although he was born in a royal household, is another sign of detachment. So what is detachment? You are willing to do any other thing, go out of your comfort zone. Because there are some people in emergency situations, they're able to respond to that emergency. Some people, they think, oh no, I never prepared for this. I cannot do anything in this situation. Now, Arjuna being a devotee, which means he knows how to respond to a situation. He's saying that, yes, I am Kshatriya, but still, if required, I am willing to give up this duty, and if it is for a higher cause. He was truly virtuous. So virtue means something which will last forever. Vice means which will bring your own degradation. Virtue means which will uplift you by possessing it. And vice means just by supposing I am in the ship and I'm holding on to a very heavy object. Then obviously because I'm holding on to some unwanted thing, it will drown. So, or if I'm latching myself to an aircraft which is about to fly, then obviously I get uplifted. So virtue means something will, just by possessing it, you uplift. And vice means just by holding on to it, you go down. As these qualities combined with his faith and the words of the instruction of Sri Krishna. Over and above all this, he is always remembering Krishna's instruction. How do he has not even heard the Bhagavad Gita? What do you mean by Krishna's instruction? Because Krishna's instruction is already recorded in the past. So, his spiritual master indicate it is concluded that Arjuna was quite for liberation. So, what is liberation means? One who is able to solve the problems of life. There are four aspects of our life. One is we have to follow some codes of conduct. You know, as a student or whatever profession you do, you have to follow some dharma. Dharma means some duty. Then what is the benefit of following dharma, rules and regulations? You will get artha. Some benefits will come out of it. Supposing you're working in a certain way, you know you will be paid for doing your job properly. Dharma, artha. Then once that is there, then only you can kama or enjoy. Ultimately, why we are following rules and regulations? Because we want to get recognized for that and paid for that. Once with that, we can enjoy. But then ultimately, what is the purpose of enjoyment? To solve the problems. If you are one side you are enjoying, other side suffering is there, or problem is constantly creeping up, then you cannot be peacefully enjoying. So this is how the world is designed. So therefore, Arjuna is, because he is carefully analyzing all these things, it is more likely that he will ultimately solve the problem, even though currently he is in a fix. Unless the senses are controlled. What is sense control means doesn't mean stop of sense. We cannot stop seeing. There's a famous picture. They say three monkeys are there. One monkey is closing his eyes, one is ears, one is mouth. So we cannot live like that. We have to use control means you have to utilize them as required. Supposing a horse is there, actually the horses will run the way they want. But control means you, although that propensity of the horse is run, still if you use a rein to control it, it will help you. So controlling the senses means not subduing the senses or stopping the senses. It means to direct them properly, and there is no chance of elevation to the platform of knowledge. So ultimately, what is the benefit of controlling our senses? We have to get knowledge. Knowledge is power. Unless you have knowledge, you cannot face any situation. Without knowledge and devotion, the two things are there: knowledge and devotion. What does it mean, knowledge and devotion? Knowledge means theoretical. At least you should know about something. And then devotion means utilizing that or practical application of that knowledge. And there is no possibility, chance of liberation. So if you want to solve any problem, first you should be aware of the problem and the available solutions, and then you should execute that. Yes, Arjuna was competent in all these attributes over and above his enormous attributes. So Arjuna was already quite competent, but still is heading in the wrong direction in the material relationships. Material relations, even in terms of temporary situations, sometimes you are able to plan for long-term problems, but smaller things we still struggle. So in those aspects also, we can see that some people are very expert, but they have just like Bob Fischer was there, one chess champion, but he was after some time he went into seclusion. So what it means, such a great person has some minor weakness. You can see many people like that. They're very great in certain aspects, and they may have very minor weaknesses which can cost them heavily. So, but here Arjuna is not like that. Not only he is very good in certain things, even in the minor aspects also, he has very accomplished. How do you go next? I think this is not getting shared. Stop the share. Okay. In the meantime, we'll come to the next. Any questions quickly? It'll take me another 10 more minutes and we'll wind up.
7.
So these are very important words to be memorized. I hope it can be shared and you can also repeat with me. Okay, just try to repeat after me. Karpanya, dosho, apahata, swabhavaha, prichami, tvam, dharma, sammuda, chedaha, yad, shreyaha, syan, nishchitam, yuhi, tanme, shishyas, te, aham, shadhi, mam, tvam, prapannam, Karpanya doshopahatah svabhavah. Karpanya doshopahatah svabhavah. Vichami tvam dharma sammuda chetah. Yatreyasyan nishchitam bruhi tanme. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. So here it says karpanya or miserliness. As I say, miser means supposing the person has lot of money. What he does, he doesn't want to spend it. There are many kanjus, we say, which means he neither enjoys nor allows others to enjoy. So kripana means miserliness, or he doesn't know the value of things. And just like there are some people, because they don't know how to use it, they will not give. Supposing you have come across many science situation, that person, he doesn't know how to use it, but he doesn't want to give it to others also. So this is the karpanya. What is miserliness? He has got such an elevated position of being a kshatriya, but still he is not able to make the best use of that situation. Why? Dosha, by the weakness. Although he is in such an affluent position, he has one weakness. What is that? Upahata. Not only that, he is afflicted by that weakness. There may be some weaknesses, but we are still able to keep them under control. But in this case, his weakness is controlling him. What is that? So, characteristic, swabhavaha, prichami, I am asking unto you. So, dharma, religion. Religion means what is something which I have to do. Normally, people think religion means faith. I'm a Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Hindu, whatever. That is not religion. Religion means, we say religious. Religious means which he has to do, or he should do, or he likes to do. So, dharma, religion, just like salt, as the religion of salt, you can say, is to give taste. Sugar is there. I call it sugar because it's giving sweet. So that is dharma, which means it's the original nature. And sammudha, bewildered. Mudha means foolish. Sammudha means you voluntarily become foolish. That is not pardonable. Chetaha. So where is the weakness? All this is because of some weakness. Weakness in the heart. Weakness of the heart is called their dhaurbalyam. So which means attachments. You are attached to the wrong thing. Just like a child is there. It is attached to some toys. Because it doesn't know the worth of that. If you give him a gold also, it will be like to attach to the toy. So this is the weakness of the heart. The heart has two weaknesses. One is ignorance. Ignorance means we are not even aware of certain things. And second thing is we are attached to the wrong things of low value, anarthas. And yet what? Shreyaha. So he recognized that he has this problem. So he is asking Krishna, who is in a better situated, to advise him. Shreyaha, good, syat, maybe, nishchitam, confidently. Which means he is asking Krishna to tell him very decisively. He is not, sometimes you go to some person and he gives you many options, but you get irritated. Because I asked you for yes and no answer, cut and clear answer, but why are you beating about the bush? So something like that. Arjuna is very before itself Krishna telling to Krishna, you please tell me decisively, confidently. Bruhi, tell. Sometimes we may hesitate to tell something because that person is not forthcoming to hear what I have to say. But Arjuna is saying, no, you have to tell me. What to tell? You tell me. That may unto me, Shishya. So unto me means specifically for me. You may don't give me some general answer. Give me very specific answer. Shishya, disciple. So, okay, you will tell and I will just hear it and give it up. No, I will follow. I am willing to follow. Sometimes the person may hesitate to tell you and to give you advice because he thinks that even if I advise, this person will not follow it. But then he is saying, disciple, Shishya, steham. I am willing to follow you. Whatever you are going to say, Shadi, just instruct. So don't hesitate to instruct me. Whatever you tell, I will follow. Ma, me, Tvam, unto you, Prapannam, surrender. So here normally when we surrender, supposing we go and surrender to the enemy, which means we are allowing the enemy to capture us. and we are losing our identity or freedom. But here, when you surrender to the right person, we become actually free. That is the greatness of surrendering to the right person. Supposing you go to the doctor, actually you are surrendering to him, because you know by surrendering to him, it will be beneficial to you. You don't go and argue with the doctor. Similarly, lawyer is there. You surrender to the lawyer in the sense that you know he's a competent person, even if I'm not as intelligent as him. So better to accept his advice. So like that, Arjuna is accepting Krishna as his spiritual master. Now I'm confused about my duty. Duty means something which is not optional. You cannot say, create your own duty. Just like you are a doctor, but you say, no, my duty is to be like a lawyer. It will not be accepted. So like that, here I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. So first, every verse you can see there will be 4 sections. So here the first section is he's saying that I'm confused about my duty, which means I don't know how to function. It's become dysfunctional. Suppose just like we're struggling with a laptop because it is not doing its duty, then it's a problem. So if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then it's a problem. So that is first part. And have lost all composure. That is making me more imbalanced. And what is the cause for that? Miserly weakness, which means I am not able to evaluate things properly. It is more important, less important, least important. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain. So at that time, he is not looking for options. He wants only one option. And tell me for certain what is best for me. Is not the better, good. No, I want the best. Now I'm a disciple. As I said, he is willing to follow and the soul surrender into you. Because from the material point of view, they are very close. So he's saying you forget about that material relationship between us. Right now, you consider me as a soul, which is don't give importance to my externals. You take care of me, please instruct me. I think so I'll quickly summarize this. So basically, the world is designed such a way that there is always bound to be some confusion. Just like when I was coming here, there was a traffic signal and the option I had to stop actually, but I thought I'll get late. So I skipped the signal. Immediately the traffic police stopped me. And I said, I'm going to the temple, then immediately left me. Otherwise, I would have spent 1,100 rupees and also spent time in that. So this is the way, nature's own way. A complete system of material activities are a source of perplexity for everyone. Perplex means it's a complex situation. In every step, there is perplexity, and therefore it behooves one to approach a bona fide spiritual master. So obviously, we cannot every time go and disturb the guide, but at least he has given you some guidelines, which you still remember them and follow them in his absence also, that is as good. So nevertheless, at some point, you have to take some guidance. Therefore, those want to approach a bona fide spiritual master. Here it says bona fide means someone who is really qualified and who can give one proper guidance for executing the purpose of life. As we said, once you know the purpose, just like when they previously or now also when people go abroad, one important letter is the statement of purpose. Which means they don't, even if you go for visa interview, they're easily able to identify that this person has no purpose, simply is going. Just because experience, and they have understood that they know who's going with a real definite purpose. So it's so important. So we need proper guidance. All Vedic literature, Veda means the knowledge, which is already established knowledge, advise one to approach a bona fide spiritual master to get free from the perplexity of life. Just like when you did a MS or a PhD, you just didn't join IIT whimsically. You had to choose a guide after studying carefully. So similarly, even in spiritual matters, one cannot take it whimsical and do whatever he wants in the name of devotion. You have to take proper guidance. So why we need to take guidance? To get free from the perplexities of life which happen without our desire. The example is given just like in the forest, especially in Australia, you can see there are major forest fires. Nobody goes to a forest to set fire. Automatically, 2 trees rub against each other and set fire. Similarly, the problems in our life also seem to happen automatically. So therefore, we have to constantly be alert and address them. And so one more thing is we don't want them, but just like we don't want disease, like pandemic, no one wanted it, but it comes. Floods are coming, earthquakes are happening. So this we don't want, but they nevertheless happen. So Therefore, advise that in order to solve the perplexity of life, to understand the science of the solution. So one is, first of all, we should be able to understand that there is a problem. That itself is a great thing. Just like many people who have a disease, it takes a long time to first of all diagnose the problem, and a lot of time, energy, effort is lost in it. So understanding that there's a problem itself is a great step. And then next is to how to solve it. That is the next. That is, both are required. And so they have to approach a spiritual master. So why spiritual master? We will see in the subsequent sections that just like a problem is very complex, then you have to go to a specialist. An ordinary doctor will not help. So there may be many masters. Everyone has a master. Different levels of life, we have a master. But spiritual master means who can analyze very deeply things. And further it says who's in a discipline section, which means he also should have followed some discipline. It's like you want to practice a martial arts. There is some discipline required. Otherwise, the theoretical knowledge everyone has. You do a Google search, you can get all the remedies for many diseases. But it will not help. You should know a person who has practiced it. So a person with a bona fide spiritual master is supposed to know everything. So just like if you are a comprehensive Viva you have, because they want to prepare you for doing a PhD, because at the end of the PhD, people will ask all types of questions. Your examiners, internal, external examiners, they will ask questions from anywhere. Or public Viva OC is there. So therefore, it's just like if the Vanaras, they tried to cross the ocean. So some said I can jump this much, another said this much, but that will not help. Ultimately, you have to cross 100 yojanas. So when you come to spiritual life, you cannot say, okay, I'll just practice as I like. No, spiritual life should help you to solve every problem in life. Okay? And that is the purport of this verse. So why this problems? They have been broadly classified. 3 types of problems. One is problems due to our own body and mind. Constantly we are facing problems due to your body. Another is problem due to other living entities. Every time we face this. And problem due to natural calamities. The floods, earthquakes, the pandemic, all these things. And simultaneously, everyone has these 4 problems. That is, while taking birth itself, some people die. Because that is also a big problem. And then after being born, disease is a problem. Old age is a problem. And death, ultimately, these 4 problems will approach everyone. Even if you are Brahma also or Indra, you have to face these things. And so then one may question ask, what are we trying to do? There are so many problems. Just like you take a course, obviously there will be exams. But the purpose of the exam is not to defeat you. It is to improve your quality of life. So similarly, the problems of life is there to improve or ultimately to come to a higher position. So, but if someone is not using this human form of life properly, then if he fails the purpose, then it is very regrettable. Because after going through many life forms, even if you go to higher planets also, you cannot solve some problems. Even if you go to the lower planets, you cannot solve. But human form is the most ideal position to address the issues which are prevalent everywhere. Therefore, in contrast to being a Kripana, one has to be Brahmana. What is a Brahmana? Who knows the value of things. Brahmana means not just born Brahmana or Pujari. Brahmana means who knows the relative value of things, the purpose of life, who is intelligent enough to utilize this body to solve all the problems of life. So, I think I'll stop here. So one problem is attachment. Attachment means just like when you are walking, if you want to move forward, first you have to put one step forward and then release the other step. So unless you're attached and detached, you practice this in life. You cannot move progress in life. Sometimes something may be very valuable right now, but at some other position that may not be, just like the mobile phone is there. It may be very useful for me now, but in certain situations, if you go to the doctor and you stick in the mobile, that's not going to help me. Maybe it is useful in one situation, then I have to make use of it. But some problems I cannot solve it with this one. Then I have to look for something else. So normally we think that my family, friends, society I can solve their problem or they can solve mine, but not always the case. Yes, to some extent you can do that, but at some position you are helpless. The examples of that Gajendra, one elephant was there. He could not fight the crocodile, although he was supported by so many other elephants. So then what do we do? So that's why we have to learn this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita by approaching a spiritual master. And okay, I'll stop there. So,
Any questions? So this shloka, Karpanya Doshloka Data Sloka, this shloka is like a turning point because up till now Arjun kept on lamenting or kept on giving reasons. Even when Krishna told him in the beginning of this chapter that you are so qualified, you are an Arya and you are of a fool, he continued giving his reasons. In that shloka, Karpanya Dosh, he is finally surrendering and he is giving up. So as long as he was having his questions, Krishna allowed him to talk. Whatever are your questions, you continue. Only when he surrendered is when Krishna started giving him the knowledge of the Bhagavad.
So although he was very well accomplished and he had fought many battles, in this particular situation, he understood it will not work. So that's also intelligence. Intelligence is the better part of valor. Someone may be overconfident, but better to accept that I don't know something. That is just like if you go to a doctor and if you start advising the doctor, obviously he will not help you. At least you should accept that I don't know. So saying that I don't know is also intelligence, so that you get the right now. So I think I'll stop there. If there are no questions, then we can go to the next section. You are not chanting. So we have the next session actually on the significance of Holi. As you know, philosophy is there, but also we need to some kind of recreation. So that's how life has been designed. Now we have the philosophy, but also we have to have some entertainment. So that entertainment also is guided by some principles. We'll be talking next about the upcoming festival, how our culture is so nice that every day is a festival. Utsava means something very pleasing to see, hear, smell, taste. Normally in a festival, you get to see something very nice. You get to hear something, taste something, food in festivals, or do something very interesting. So our life is designed such that we also have serious situations and also lighter moments. So that is a opportunity coming up now. But still, if we know the purpose, then we can get the best benefit of both things. Because we are the expected people who are registered have not yet come, so we have to fill the gap for some time. What we will do, we will chant one round of the Maha Mantra. So sound is the source of all knowledge. Just like when we were a child, we didn't know all these detailed formulas or languages, but we were very attentive to hear things. Okay. So in sound can store, just like we are storing all the information now in cloud. So it is actually possible to store information in ether also. So the same ether is the source of other perceptions we have. We are able to see something, just like TV is there. TV is basically transmitting the information into ether and then back to visible form. Our sound is there, it is stored in ether and again we retrieve it. Like wireless communication is there. So like this, all the perceptions, they can be stored in sound form. Even now they say different figures are there. Like TV is also one kind of picture, but the picture is reproduced by transmitting in the sound form, waves. So this Omkara or Om, it has three parts, A, U and Im. Just like we use the three parts. A means you open your mouth. U means you, Im means you close your mouth. So like that we are able to produce different sounds. So this all knowledge is stored in this Omkara. But then we have to bring it out in time required. So we bring it out information in the form of this Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this sound vibration can produce all knowledge. So it may be not very acceptable right now. How can sound produce knowledge? But that is how it has been designed, that all knowledge is stored in sound form. So when we chant this Mahamantra, gradually all knowledge will be revealed to us. Of course, right now we are seeking knowledge outside, but knowledge is also present within us. Supposing you are in an island, then where is the source for information? You have to look for it within. So that can be obtained by vibrating these sounds. Okay, so we'll chant one round of the Mahamantra. Can circulate, already circulated. So this has 32 syllables. Just like when you want to produce music, you pronounce different sounds, and by using different parts of the mouth, and the tongue and the mouth, you use different parts to produce different sounds, and they have different connotations. Similarly, when we chant this Mahamantra consisting of 16 words and 32 syllables, it has some meaning which will gradually be revealed to us as we continue. Just like when we were children, we were taught some alphabets. We mechanically pronounce those alphabets and words and sentences. But right now, that time it didn't make sense. But now those sentences or words or syllables make much more sense. So initially, just like you take a medicine without knowing what it is made of, but nevertheless you benefit. So these mantras are such that you benefit even if you don't know what it means. So we have 108 times. Just like you do something repeatedly, you get more convinced or more benefit. Just like you take a medicine also, you say 2 times, 3 times you say, and 7 days. So when you do some things repeatedly at a certain number, then we are likely to benefit more. So we chant this 108 times on this, and in order to keep track of that, we have this 108 beads. So on each bead, you use the middle and thumb finger. Each of these fingers, when you hold them together, they produce different energies. So when we hold using the middle and thumb finger, it is conducive for benefiting from this chanting. So you have to chant properly all the syllables of this Mahamantra and also hear attentively. This is the easiest thing you can do. Say something and hear it. And then you have to touch the beads to be more focused. Because among all the senses, the sense of touch is the most distracting. Supposing you're sleeping and someone is calling you also, you may not wake up. But if that person comes and touches you, you wake up. So likewise, the most distracting is the sense of touch. So to overcome that distraction, we use the beads to focus our attention. So we'll chant this Mahamantra 108 times. Before that, we'll chant another mantra. Just repeat after me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara. Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam.
Srivasadi.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrindam. Okay, so we chanted this Mahamantra. As we know, Omkara means Lord Krishna, Radharani, his energy, and the living entity. So ultimately, the world is filled with living entities and the Supreme Lord and his energies.
that is Omkara. That is expanded in this form, this Mahamantra, where actually the three words are repeating here. Hare, Krishna and Rama. So Hare means the energy of the Lord Radharani. Krishna means the Supreme Lord. And Rama means the enjoyer. How does he enjoy? He gets enjoyment from the living entities. So if we connect with him, we can relate with all the living entities. So just like we have ones and zeros, 1 and 0, depending on where they are placed, the value increases. So although a big number may be there with so many ones and zeros, depending on which position it is placed value, the value is more. So it's like that. This Mahamantra, although we are repeating the same thing again and again, it elevates our consciousness. Once just like we go up the satellite, you can see many things. By chanting this Mahamantra, all knowledge will be revealed, all happiness and our permanent nature will be revealed to us. So what do we do?
You start with that.
You want to speak first?
Let's speak on Holi.
Okay. So in the meantime, anyone has a quick question or comment, please feel free to ask. Everything you learned from this session also you can always say so that others also can relate to it.
Holi presentation. Hare Krishna. So now we'll discuss about Holi. What is Holi? We all have some idea or the other about Holi. So what is Holi? Yes, sir. Sorry?
Birthday of Holika.
Very good. What else? Okay. Anything else? The youngest in the group is actually talking the highest. The normal, what do we know about Holi? Finally, ये बोलने में इतना टाइम लगा. Holi is the festival of colors. So we will just talk a little about Holi. What exactly is Holi? Why we celebrate it? And in India, the good thing is that we have different kinds of festivals who are like every festival we don't do the same thing. One thing is common in all our festivals, that is feasting. Apart from that, we are not doing the same thing every festival. Some festival will light lamps, some festival will play with colors, some festival will tie rakhi, some festival will do something else. We are always doing different things. What we are doing in our daily life, we try to break the monotony in the festivals, and typically change of season is the time when festivals happen. So one of the time when Holi happens is when the winter is going and the summer is approaching, and it is also a harvest season. So to pray for a good crop is one of the reasons why Holi is done. So, what is the presentation? Presentation. Is it appearing as a presentation? Yeah. Next. Okay. So we'll be discussing these things today. What is Holi? What is the significance of Holi? What is Holashtak? I don't know how many of you have heard this term also. Then Holika Dahan, what he said, and Braj Holi, Ayodhya Holi. So you'd be surprised to know that Ayodhya also there is Holi. These are some of the deities of Vrindavan. They are in holy colors. So we just wanted to show, because Holi means Radha Krishna playing Holi, and any person who prays to Radha and Krishna will celebrate Holi, will play colors. This is Gaurnatai. This is it's on Chennai temple deities. They have Gaurnatai, they have Radha Krishna, Lalita Vishakha, and they have Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. So we have kept Gaurnatai over here. This is a very special shringar because you can see the wings, the border of the wings is actually cashew with something, I think, dates in the middle. The mukut, the crown is having badam and cashew, and there are the garlands are of elaichi, cardamom. So it was a very special shingar that was done on the day of Nityanand Trayodasi, which happened in February beginning. So this is that because it is also Gaur Purnima, which we will not talk about today. We will talk about it next week. So this is the next. This is Banke Bihari, who I think all of you are familiar with Banke Bihari, the presiding deity in Vrindavan. And this is Banke Bihari in the normal dress and in the Sakhi Vesh. Sakhi Vesh, because Banke Bihari is Radha and Krishna put together. So sometimes he will also dress as Radharani. So that is called Sakhi Vesh. So Holi is an ancient festival that we all know. It's an ancient Hindu festival. And it is very, very popular even today. It celebrates the eternal and divine love of Radha and Krishna. We'll come to that story a little later. It also signifies the triumph over good over evil, because it talks about how Holika was overcome by Bhaktha. Holi celebrates the arrival of summer in India and the end of winter. The festival is an invocation for a good spring harvest, because you have the Rabi crop and the Kharif crop. So to pray for a good harvest, we start with the festival. And of course, it is the festival of colors, which we all know. The spirit of Holi is forgive and forget. Purana mano Holi hai. We keep on saying this. We keep on putting colors on anybody and everybody. We may not even recognize the person. We don't mind. And the person we put color on also does not mind, because it's Holi. So that is the spirit of Holi. That is the mood of Holi.
It's visible now?
Is it visible at the back? Can you read? Right. So now we talk about the significance of Holi. Holi happens in the, as per the lunar calendar, it is the month of Falgun. Falgun, Fagun, that is how it is corrupted. And it happens on the full moon day. The Purnima, Falgun Purnima is the day it happens, which typically comes February, March, this time of the year. And 8 days before Falgun Purnima, Holashtak sets in. What is Holashtak? We'll just discuss in a minute. The first day of Holi is known as Holika Dahan, and the next day is the day we play Holi with colors, which is the Rangwali Holi or Dol Purnima or Dhulechi, whichever we want to call it. Holashtak is basically the day. To tell you the story of Holashtak, we have to go a little back into history. In Shiv Puran, it is mentioned that there was a time when the Sati episode had already happened. Sati and Lord Shiva had got married, and then Sati had immersed herself in the fire of Yajna of her father, Daksh Prajapati. And then after that, Lord Shiva had gone into Samadhi. And at that time, there was a demon named Tarkasur. He was wreaking havoc. And he had got a benediction that he can only be killed by the son of Lord Shiva. So all the demigods had gone to Brahma, and they were praying to Brahmaji, because he's the father, that what should we do, because this Tarkasur is creating a lot of problems, and Lord Shiva is in Samadhi, and though Parvati is born, but they have not yet met. So then Brahmaji suggested that why don't we send Kamdev, who's the god of love. Let Kamdev go and let him put his arrows on Lord Shiva so that he gets attracted to Parvati. So when Brahma goes, when Kamdev goes and he tries to put his arrows on Lord Shiva to attract him towards Parvati, Lord Shiva's trance breaks and he gets angry. And he looks at Kamdev in anger, so much so that Kamdev is burnt to ashes. So that day, when Kamdev is burnt to ashes, is the 8th day of Falgun month. So that after that is 8 days before Purnima. So that is why Ashtak to Purnima is considered Holashtak, and no auspicious thing is done at that time. Like typically when a girl has to go to her mother's house, they look for auspicious dates. That doesn't happen. Or if she's in her mother's house to go to the in-laws house, again, that doesn't happen. Or if any engagement or any marriage or any Graha Pravesh or starting a new business, anything has to happen, people will avoid this period of Holashtak because that period is considered inauspicious. So once Kamdev had been killed or had been burnt to ashes by Lord Shiva, his wife Rati was very, very distressed. So she goes to Parvati ji and she asks, what should I do? So at that time, Parvati ji tells her, you pray to Lord Shiva. He is the cause of your distress. He is the reason to take away your distress. So she prays to Lord Shiva and she gets a benediction on Falgun Purnima. That is why 8 days only. So on Purnima day, she gets a benediction that your husband is going to be born as the son of Lord Krishna, Pradyumna. At that time, both of you will get united. And we have seen this pastime in Lord Krishna's pastime. So this is the story of Holashtak. So what happens for Holika then? So Holika then, who was Holika? Yes, she was the sister of Hiranyakashipu and she had a benediction. What was that benediction? That she cannot be burnt by fire. So, and Hiranyakashipu was very much distressed by his son Prahlad Maharaj, who was only 5 years old, who was a devotee of Lord Vishnu, Hiranyakashipu was anti-Lord Vishnu. He was against Lord Vishnu. So he was upset that my son is a devotee of Lord Vishnu, whom I am against. And I am the king of all the demons. And still this is happening. So he wanted to, because he was not able to convince his son, he wanted to kill Prahlad Maharaj. And he was trying in different ways and failing in every way. So his sister came to his rescue and she said, I cannot be burnt anyways. I have got the benediction. I'll take Prahlad, 5-year-old kid, put him on my lap and sit on a fire. You put fire on the fire. Prahlad does not have that benediction. He will die, I will live. So your problem will get solved. So when she sits on the fire like that, at that time, because he is a devotee of the Lord comes to save him, and without any effort by Prahlad on his own, he is saved and Holika gets burned. So because of it, and this happens on this day, that Purnima evening. This is when this happens. That is why Holika Dahan. It is called Holika Dahan. In today's age, we are also still celebrating Holika Dahan. This is how every, especially North India and South India also, you see some places in the crossings, chaurastas, people have these kind of bonfires. And here you can see in the picture, there is one person who's putting some stick inside the bonfire, trying to do something. It's basically, there are some rituals also which people do. Some people will roast one papad and take that as prasad. Some people will roast new grain, jo dhan hota hai, they will roast that, they will roast wheat dhan, and they will roast paddy, chana. People will do those kind of things. And before the fire, they will go around the fire, like fairy rehte na, they will circumambulate around the fire. Before the fire is lit, there's one long stick of Prahlad Maharaj. That stick is taken out because Prahlad Maharaj doesn't get burnt. And this, what you see in the left is, this is made of cow dung. So cow dung is made into different shapes. It has different significances. That is it could be a family tradition. It could be the local tradition of a particular clan. So I'm not getting into details on that. So this also, one of the reasons why this is done or put on the fire is because, it is the change of season and there are mosquitoes and there are disturbances. So cow dung is supposed to be auspicious. You put that on it is one of the ways of getting the smoke is healthy. And when we are doing this kind of thing, it is also good for health. So a lot of things put together, like, no one reason is there for any one thing. Everything is designed in such a manner that the end result is good. So this is one of the things which is used as a tradition. This happens even today. That is the day before Holi is played. The next morning, Holi is played. Here you see again Vrindavan deities with color on themselves and color offered to them in front of them. So typically when we play with the deities, it is always natural colors. We do not use the chemicals that are used today. And when we play with Krishna, we are using what Krishna plays Holi with is gulab jal and kesar. He plays Holi with that. This is the way we play Holi today, completely full of colors and everybody playing with everybody. This is what we have seen and we are used to. So this is, I think, Vrindavan Holi. Here we have more Vrindavan deities, Makite Hareji and Radha Ramanji and Radha Vallabhji. These deities have been kept, the photos have been kept over here because the Holi in these temples is famous in Vrindavan. And in Braj, that is, Braj is the entire area wherever Radharani went. That is called Braj. In Braj, the Holi is celebrated for 40 days, not for 1.5 days. From Basant Panchami onwards, they start playing colors. And they will end on the day of Holi. And when you go to Braj in this period, they don't see whether you are known person, unknown person, friend, whoever, relative, whoever you are, they will put color. And there are a lot of traditions on the way the Holi is played in Braj. The Garg Samhita is the first Puran or Puranic reference where Garg Muni is talking about describing how Radha and Krishna play Holi. Mathura and Vrindavan are known for their Holi celebrations. Even today, people from across the world try to go at this time who have the mentality to play Holi and who don't mind being colored from any direction by strangers. And the reason why Holi is played is, as a legend, what is said is that Lord Krishna would go and cry to Yashoda Maiya, Radha kyu gori, main kyu kala. So Yashoda Maiya gave him the solution, do one thing, go color Radha. Then her color will change, she will not be gori anymore, you will be satisfied. So Krishna used to go and color Radha Rani, and that tradition continues even today. He would go from Nandgaon to Barsana to color Radha Rani, and the gopis would playfully beat him. So what is that? That pastime called Latmar Holi, which is happening even today. We'll see a video of it shortly. These are the types of Holi which are played in Braj. Fag Amantran, that is Fagun ka Amantran, there's a proper procedure. And even today, the people of Braj area, they follow all these traditions and they are in the same mode that Krishna to hamara lala hai, wo Nandgaon mein hai, Radha Rani lali hai, she is in Barsana, later Jabar. So they pray in that mood. So people will go from Barsana to Nandgaon to give the invitation for Holi. So that is the Fag Amantran. In Barsana, there is something called Laddu Holi. From top, they will be giving laddus, gulde, that is called Laddu Holi. It is distributed to the devotees. Then Barsana and Nandgaon, they are famous for the Latmar Holi. We'll see a video shortly. There's a Rang Bharani Ekadashi. So even the Ekadashi in this period, it has a special significance, and there's a Rang Bharani Ekadashi that happens in Vrindavan. Shri Krishna Janmabhoomi Holi is famous of Mathura. And there's a Chalimar Holi of Gokul. Holika Dahan we already heard about. Hulendri Holi is the day when we play with colors. Dauji ka Horanga, so Dauji is Balramji, he has his own Holi. So that is what is described over here. And Mukhrai ka Charkola. Rang Panchami, Nidhivan ki Holi, Baki Bihari Lalji ki Holi, Radha Raman Laljo ki Holi, Radha Vallabh Laljo ki Holi. We have seen these deities pictures earlier in this presentation. So these Holis are famous. Apart from this, Latmar Holi, Pankaj Prabhu, Latmar Holi ka video. He will just put it up. Before that, I will just talk about this thing. Ayodhya Holi. Now, you'll be surprised to know Ayodhya also has some history of Holi. Ayodhya, Ramji was there in Treta Yuga, and this Krishna pastimes are all Dwapar Yuga. But Treta Yuga itself, there was a king in the dynasty of Lord Ram named Lord Raghu. King Raghu. At his time, during his reign, there was a demoness named Dhundu who was wreaking havoc. And because at that time, all the Kshatriyas would take advice from the sages. So he went to Guru Vasisht and he asked what can be done. So Guru Vasisht gave him the solution that what can be done is you have to light bonfire on the chaurastas, on the crossings of roads. That is going to quieten the demoness Dhundu. So this he went and he spread it across the entire kingdom, and all the people they were troubled. So all the people followed this, and everywhere they did this, and the demoness was quieted. So the Holika then started there at that time, and they started playing with colors. It is also said that Lord Ram also used to play with colors. Now we're going to see video of Lakshmar Holi. I don't know how many of you have seen it or heard about it. How many of you have heard about Lakshmar Holi? Of course, you would have heard about it. Here, this side? Yes. Have you seen videos? It's very interesting because when we play Holi, we try to wear our clothes which are not, not so new, and we don't mind discarding them afterwards. But
one is they're both are strong. The women are also strong. They're displaying the strength, and the man is also equally strong to withstand so many blows. So it's a feat.
this is how Radharani used to treat Krishna. Radharani and the gopis would treat Krishna and the gopas like this when they would go to play colors. Anybody has any questions on Holi? Okay, so now what we can do is we'll play Holi. How do we play Holi? We play Holi with the deities first. So we'll do Aarti first, and immediately after Aarti, what we'll do is everybody will get up and we'll hold all these mattresses. So we'll do Aarti and then we'll offer the colors to the deities. We'll guide you how to go about. Thank you.
Staying with it, young making at least.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaja Bhutale
Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Nami Namo Krishna Prishnacha Bhutaye Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Nami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravai Krishnani Nirvikesha Navadi Pachakore Sadari Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravai Krishnani Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमदे श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णु भागवत परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड श्री गोवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, द्वारका धाम की जय, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगा में यमुना में की जय, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे और वरिष्ठ दर्शन बड़े श्री कृष्ण और वरिष्ठ दर्शन बड़े श्री कृष्ण और वरिष्ठ दर्शन बड़े श्री कृष्ण और वरिष्ठ श्री गुरु and Lord. None of the girls would like to sing Narsingh Aarti, Rima, Narsingh Aarti.
You can sit if you want, you can sit, all of you can sit and just.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Hare Krishna. What is the next program? what we did is known as Gaura Arati. Gaura means Lord Krishna appearing as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord himself appearing as a devotee, because the modern days very difficult to practice pure devotion. So Krishna himself asked us to practice devotion by coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are offering Arati. When we glorify someone, we offer them some gifts. We give some mementos or proper. So we cannot give, some person is very rich, I cannot give him a bigger gift because he already has everything. So whatever is possible from our side, we offer incense stick. Incense is to offer some fragrance. Then we offer a lamp. Lamp is to show light. Just like we switch on the light, I can see all of your nice faces. So we offer the lamp, and then we offer water. When guest comes, we offer him some water. Then we offer a cloth to wipe himself. And then we offer flowers. Garland, like you put a garland to me. Then we offer chamara, a whisk, to ward off the flies or something like that, and fan to cool him. So this is what we offer to the deities, and we are singing this Gaura Arati, how it is performed on the banks of the Ganga, where Lord Chaitanya appeared. And then we sang Narsimha Arati. Lord Narsimha is said to ward off all the evil influences. Lord Narsimha came to protect Prahlada. So when we practice devotion, there will always be some problems. So to overcome that, we play to Lord Narsimha, how he protected his devotee Prahlada. That's what we sang Narsimha Arati. And now we will do the
Today is also the birthday of one of our members. Padmavati Mataji, please come forward. Today is her birthday. Mataji is been working in IIT. She's one of the staff and electrical department. Mataji, electrical department, and she got initiated during the pandemic. She has a small Lada Gopal. She's very, very humble, and she helps us a lot. So we pray whenever anybody's birthday, we can celebrate here. That's not an issue. And if we know, we celebrate. If we don't know, we can't celebrate. So we will chant for Mataji. Hari Bol thrice. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So just to give you a flavor, we have a happy birthday song, our turn. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna dear Mataji, Hare Krishna to you. May this be your last birth, may this be your last birth. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna Mataji. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhya eva cha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you so much. So, Prabhu, we can do. So, one of the volunteers, please come to take the prasadam plate. Please mix the prasadam. The next session that we are doing is, we are playing Holi with the deities. So what we'll do is, everybody will line up, one by one you will come. Tejaswa Prabhu here will give you Achman. He'll give you on your palm one drop of water. That is not for drinking, that is for washing your hand. Then the flowers and the this thing. And so after that, what do? We will offer flowers, we will offer colors to the deities. Okay, and then wait, once everybody has offered, then we can offer colors to each other. The way we play here is, all the Prabhujis will play among yourselves, the Matajis will play among yourselves. The only exception is husband and wife. They can apply to each other. Boyfriend and girlfriend, I don't know. Engaged, I don't know. Only husband and wife. Okay? And if you want to offer color to the elders, on the feet, you can put color. No problem. If they permit, you can put here there, but feet is where, that is the etiquette. So,
Thank you.